I spent the last 6 months in the most amazing continent on earth, Africa, the motherland. This was actually an unplanned for journey that I did not even expect that would forever change my life. I managed to traverse in over 15 countries in the entire continent, and these are some of the best stories that I managed to gather from this African trip. Well, these countries are not in any particular order. I'm just going to be jumping from country to country just based on the stories that come to mind. And the first country that I will speak about is actually the youngest country in Africa and even in the world, a country that, is a very beautiful country, but a country that has been through a lot. It gained its independence from the main Sudan in 2011, and of course you already know I'm talking about South Sudan. It is a very beautiful country with amazing people, but has had a constant problem of civil war within the country. Since again the independence till now, the country has been ranked as unstable, unsafe, undesirable for tourists and all these things. But when I was there, I actually found out that things that people spoke about were actually the opposite of what South Sudan was to me. Yes, it is quite difficult to travel South Sudan without a doubt because of the massive corruption there, the heavy military presence that's always there to harass you and just, try and control you, and just the road network and everything is a bit of a difficulty. So officially, welcome to South Sudan, man. Crazy country, I tell you already. So after all that process, the funny thing is, as soon as you get to the border, to cross the bridge, you have to pay 1,000 to the military. That's money for the military. After that, the person, an immigration officer checks your passport and you have to pay 3,000. After that, you go to the main border control, and then you also have to pay 5,000 for the stamp to be approved inside. Like, for no reason. I don't understand why, but that's what they said they need it for. So I'm still learning. But the people of South Sudan are some of the best people that I have ever met. I made actually my way into the Mundari tribe of South Sudan, which the Mundari tribe are a semi-nomadic people that live, day to day with the traditional way of just taking care of the cattle and moving with the cattle from one place to another. In this day, I was driving randomly with my tour guide and another YouTuber when we saw a group of young Mundari warriors, they are called Mundari warriors, walking along the road, and we wondered where they were up to. So I told my driver and my guide to ask them where they were going and if we could give them a lift or a ride on our car because it had a lot of space. They asked them and the young men gladly came into the car, and then we finally talked to them and we managed to discover where they were going. They were actually going to a wrestling match, an actual wrestling match, unplanned, no media, no cameras, nothing, just their everyday life. It happens like every certain Saturday, but it happened to be this particular time. So we followed the young men to where the wrestling was, and man, it was amazing. It was so amazing. This was just a raw and unfiltered type of event that we didn't even expect. The warriors were there ready to fight with each other. There was a lot of music and song and dance. Men, women and children were everywhere just expressing the love and the culture as they know it, raw and untamed. So this is definitely one of those insane things that I had ever seen. Guys, the voices are so nice, so authentic, man. Listen. Very good. Champion, very good. Yeah. Oh, they're celebrating now. Yes, my friend. I was privileged to get to meet the winner of actually the tournament, and I had a few words with him. I got to greet his hand, and we came to later learn on that he wins a certain number of cows. But in this same breath, we talked to some girls about what they think about the wrestling matches, and man, the girls actually were not in for it. And also I came to realize, like, if you want to get a Mundari woman, you have to pay a lot of cows, from somewhere from 50 to 100 or 200 even cows to get that type of woman. So it's not easy to get a Mundari woman, but this was one of the best positions and best stories that I've picked up in Africa, and I felt so at home in South Sudan and very happy and blessed to have been there. Okay, this is one of the beautiful Mundari ladies. Yeah, Mundari?
Yes.
Yes. What's your name?
My name is called Buri.
Buri. Yeah. How does it feel to be here in the wrestling match and watching, you know, all these people fighting? We
are not feeling good because those people, they can kill themselves.
Oh, so you don't like it? But it's the culture.
Just is good, best.
Yeah.
Slowly just.
Oh, so you'd rather they don't kill themselves?
If they carry the man,
yeah,
we'll throw it down.
Yeah.
It's not good.
It's not good.
Yes.
So are you married?
No.
When you get married, they'll pay cows for you?
Yes.
How many cows?
50.
Yeah. 50?
Yes.
So me, if I want to marry you, how many cows do I give?
Because I don't want you because you are...
I'm small. Hey, even what if I have cows and I'm small like this? Or you want big man?
If you have cows,
yeah,
you can bring and you can take me. No
yeah. Let's shift further a little bit down south to South Africa, the land of the Swazi, aka Swaziland, or rather Eswatini. I went to the local village here in Eswatini and found a very interesting information about the villagers here in this place. As you can see here in this village, they live as a community, but the funny thing with these people of Swaziland or Eswatini is that they have something called wife inheritance. For example, if somebody dies, the brother, younger or older, I'm not really sure, can be able to inherit a wife. Listen to this one.
But in our culture, when the men die, before we have got a constitution, the women have to mourn for 2 years. After 2 years, the brother to the man inherits the brother's wife. But you don't inherit your brother's wife when you are not married. You only inherit your brother's wife when you are already married.
Okay, wow.
Yes.
But can you choose, like, for example, is it a must you inherit your brother's wife, or if you don't want to, it's
must.
Okay? You must?
Yes.
Okay, so even if you had 2 wives, then you get a third one.
Yes.
And the children of the woman?
They were just to look after the wives. But you can have kids with that wife, but the kids doesn't belong to you. It belongs to the late brother.
Okay, but who takes care of them? The grandmother?
Normally like the grandmother and the wives.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. And oh yes, how could I forget the punishment that they offer to somebody who practices witchcraft or murders somebody in their own community? You better not do that when you're there.
Then we have that mountain. That mountain, we call it Nyonyane Mountain.
Nyonyane.
Nyonyane means a little bird or a small bird.
Okay.
Before we get independence, it used to be our execution rock.
Oh.
When you have committed murder, we are practicing witchcraft. But before they take you up there, you sit for the trial. Once they find you guilty, they just take you on top of the mountain. While you're on top, they blindfold your eyes, tie your hands at the back, and say, jump. You jump that side of the mountain, because that side of the mountain, the cliff, it's very steep down. While they were taking you up there will be even some warriors at the back if you refuse to jump, just to poke you with some spears.
So that you go.
Jump.
Yeah.
Even your family were not allowed to take the body to bury.
They just
left it there because they thought once they take you to bury, the spirits of witchcraft or killing people will come back in a home.
Okay.
But now we don't do it. We just keep you in normal prisons.
Okay, normal prisons. Wow.
Yes.
Speaking of witchcraft, let's take a quick shift to the east of Africa, Kenya to be specific. Kenya is a country that is beautiful and rich in culture, but as I was in the coast of Kenya, which is where the story is going to be, I was very, very much surprised to see everywhere in the streets they had advertisements of witch doctors, or what do you call them, like traditional healers. They were saying in the posters that they can take care of problems like disease, how to get wealthy, how to get a job, how to win a court case, and all these things. And for me, it did not make any sense because I do not believe in witchcraft or anything like that. So I took it upon myself to be able to come and demystify this myth. So what did Kish my world do? I decided to jump into the hot soup. And what I did is I called one of the numbers which was in the posters. I called that certain witch doctor and I was like, you know, I need to meet up with you so that you can help me with this and this and that. Of course, I made sure he consented for me to record the whole thing beforehand. So what happened is he asked me to get 3 items. 2 chicken. So here we have the chicken. That is it. A mirror and an egg. Yeah, so guys, we are here to look for a mirror, and I've seen they're selling some mirrors over here. So we're gonna get 1 mirror, and maybe they sell eggs also. They will get it from here. All right, guys, success. We have gotten the mirror and the egg and the two chicken, a male and a female. So now let me call the witch doctor and tell him we are ready to go, ready for luck. So I met up with a guy, but of course, you know, I always know these people are phonies. I don't believe them, and I was trying to do is to help the people who are living there not to believe in these people because they are not real. Everybody who is afraid of them, you can go and see that these people are phonies. They are just fakes. They just want to steal from you. So I made my way into the witch doctor's house, and he did his voodoo. You know, he started dancing around. He started, you know, playing with the chicken and all these things. And man, I really was laughing, struggling so hard to contain my laughter because I know nothing of this is real. After that, you know, I gave him his money, I paid him, and then I left gracefully. And I just wanted to show people how witchcraft is being so-called practiced in Africa, but it is not real, it is fake. So guys, don't believe these things. Save your money. Don't let them take your money. Don't let them steal your money. Okay guys, finally, so we are back. I have received my blessing. As you guys saw, it was a quick ceremony, and you know, everything you saw, it was really nice. So let's see if it works. He said after 3 days I will become extremely lucky. Let's see how many days it is. Today is on Sunday or Monday. Today is Monday, so we'll see by Wednesday if I'll be very, very lucky. Yeah, but of course, you know, this is all just bull crap. There's nothing happening here. They're just trying to make some quick money. So we support the hustle. But finally, you guys got to see the voodoo ceremony here in Kenya, in Africa. The chicken going around my thing. I'm going on my knees, everything. It was hilarious. Oh yes, you know, posters on the wall, on the streets. Here's another crazy thing that I saw in South Africa. Let's head all the way down to South Africa. Again, I was working in one of the suburbs in Johannesburg, known as Hillbrow, also known as one of the most dangerous places in South Africa. And I was working there. Everybody was telling me, be careful, it's so dangerous. And I decided to go and walk there. But for me, instead of meeting gangsters and criminals and everything, what I saw was other posters on the streets of advertising, what do you call it, abortion. Yes, you heard me right, man. There was abortion papers on the streets. People are talking about how you can do it safely, less painfully, and cheap. And I was very curious because there were so many of these posters. So I went straight into this guy who was near me and I asked him all about this, only to my shock to come and find out that he is one of the people who actually sells the leaves. And he had to explain to me what is done with them. This is something I've seen so common. Abortion pills. Same day. I'm seeing a lot of advertisements about abortion pills in this area and I'm wondering why. Hello. Yes. Very, very curious to know, you know. And they're like same day abortion pills. Strange. Look at this one here. Quick. My friend. Hi. What is this? It says abortion, safe, quick, and pain-free. This is the first time I've seen something like this before in my life. Is it common here in South Africa? Yeah, abortion. Okay, thank you. What are you selling? What is this? It's for abortion. Oh, really? And then you bought? Ah, this one. Okay. Oh my God. Wow. So guys, I was just asking him because I saw this one, abortion, safe, quick, and then this is actually the pills. Is it like a plant? Can I touch it? Take. Okay. It's actually leafy, like leafy green, you know. But you boil it and then you drink. Oh, and then after you boil and drink, there's no more baby. It's gone. Is it common that ladies buy this? Yeah. Many of them come to buy. Yeah. Okay. How much does it cost? Yeah?
I'm selling for 10, 20.
10, 20 rand. Okay. So it depends on how much you want. Wow. So for 10, 20 rand, you take these ones, you boil it in water, and if you've had unprotected sex, the baby is gone. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. I don't know if I should market your business, but okay. But you sell also this? Okay. All right. If you want like some healthy stuff, you can also come and check it out. Thank you, bro. Shukran. Guys, it's funny that they actually sell them there on the streets. Africa was really, it's really crazy. And guess what? Just one block away on the other side of the road, as I was walking there after I left this guy, I met these people also who have a bureau or like an insurance scheme for you. You plan for your own demise, for your own death. Like in case something happens to you, you insure yourself. You can buy yourself a coffin. You can choose how it will look like, what package you need, and you pay every month. And this was something I had never seen before in my life. How do you insure for your demise? But different places have different things. So for me, I really thought this was something very unique. What do you think about this one, guys? Regional funerals.
Okay.
So what is it about? Like you like policies?
Yeah, it's a policy.
If you die, what you want to be done for you?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, policy 1, 2, 3. Wow.
Okay, lapha 21 years.
You work here also? Okay, you also want a policy. Okay, so if you pay 70 rand monthly, you get a free coffin or what? Flat seat coffin, 15-seater. If you buy for 100 rand. Okay, I've never seen this in my life. Interesting. Apparently, guys, the poorest country in the world is in Africa. A small landlocked country called Burundi. Yes. But I must say, this is one of my most favorite countries that I had visited in my trip in Africa. As soon as I entered the country in the border, I was greeted by these really cute kids who decided to entertain me, sing to me, dance for me, and you could feel already they're welcoming you in. But right there and then, you could see the poverty level that is hitting the country. Really, it's a sad state, but I believe it's still one of the most happy people and one of the best people that I met. And speaking of that, while I was in Bujumbura, when I got to the main town, I decided to just go for my usual rounds. And while I was going there, I met one guy who works like a cyclist, and I decided to talk to him. I asked him to take me around the hood with his bicycle so that we can get to chit chat, and then also he shows me the places, the hidden places in that village where he lives by. And he gracefully offered and accepted. So as we were cycling and seeing everything in the area, I happened to just talk to him, make small talk, and find out how life is, how much he earns a day, and everything else. He told me he earns about 15,000 Burundian francs at the end of each day, which is very, very little money. It's probably less than $10, So that was a shocker to me. He actually offered to take me to his home, and I was even more surprised to see where he sleeps. It was this small shanty, a small looking place with nothing, and it was really heartbreaking. Hapa ndo nyumbani.
Ndio nyumbani hapa.
Yeah, so this is the area where he lives. Sasa kwako ni hii hapa. Hii. Okay. Okay, hapa ndio nyumbani. Ni vizuri, najua saa zingine hata watu wangu wanaweza ona waseme wanataka kusaidia kitu. Yeah, so guys, this is the place where my friend lives. So as you can see, this is like the establishment which he pays the 4,000 is nothing fancy. And lazima afungue. Yeah. Okay, so this is his local structure. He pays 40,000, yeah, and he makes 15,000 on a good day. On a bad day, maybe even less, you know. Na umesema kazini kwa siku mzuri labda uko na 15.
Nikibarikiwa, nikiamka na nguvu.
Yeah.
15 napata.
Yeah. Na ikiwa siku mbaya yenye sio mzuri
5,000.
5,000, okay, yeah. Okay. Na sasa hapa ni penye unalala.
Hapa ndio penalala.
Okay, this is where he sleeps. Na hii ni mosquito net. And the mosquito net. Okay, na sasa tuseme kama unataka kukula. Unapika, huwezi pika hapa. If you want to make some food.
Kwa sababu
yeah.
Kwa sababu
okay.
Sina machungu ya kupikia.
Okay, so he doesn't have anything to make food, so he has to sleep here. Okay, asante. Twende tukatembe. Tuone hii mji. Then after that, he took me around the village. He showed me where they get their water. He showed me like the dangers that they get there because of the polluted water. And at the end of the day, we met up. He took me back to the bus station who was supposed to take my transport back home. And I just decided, you know what, this guy has really showed me love, taken care of me and everything. And I decided to give him an equivalent of a whole day's wages for that one small trip that he took me, so that he could go home and relax and take care of himself and get strength for working the other days. Hey, Kweni. He's telling me he actually sees his wife once in 2 months because he has to work here and the wife is living in the mountains over there, so it's really difficult for him to go, so he has to stay, work, make some money, then he goes, because he can't also go empty-handed, man. And he says he makes 15,000 a day on a good day. When he's very, very happy, he makes 15,000. So I'm gonna give him 15,000 Burundian money, and then and then I'm gonna do the math and see how much we have left, and then we are going to continue with our challenge actually. So this is it, man. Sometimes you have to change the plans. Yeah, but I'm gonna try and get rid of some of the monies that I have, the old money. I give him all of it, that's how it is. The guy was very, very thankful for getting this small donation from me, and that's when he also told me like finally he'll be able to send like his family like a portion of it. He's gonna use a portion of it to eat, and a portion of it he's gonna try and save so that he can go with that money to his family. And this is what shocked me the most. He has a wife and I think 2 kids, and he only goes to see them once in 2 weeks. Imagine that, once in 2 weeks, because he has to stay in the city here and work with his bicycle, which he's been cycling for 16 years, and he only goes to see them once in every 2 weeks. Really, really sad state. But still, I can tell you, he is one of the best people that I've ever met. Welcomed me with such a pure and clean heart, and man, I just love Burundi, and I love how the people of Burundi are. There were so many stories there, but this was the highlight of them. Guys, speaking of Burundi, next door to Burundi is a country that is doing much, much better. This is a country that is prospering, also quite a new country, but is a country that is the most clean country in Africa, a country known as Rwanda. This country's level of organization and cleanliness and standards of living really shocked me. And I was actually here on a day that they call the Kigali Car-Free Day. What is the Kigali Car-Free Day? It is where the whole city, for a couple of hours in the morning, they decide to close off some of the major roads so that people can walk freely in the streets and sing and dance and work out, jog, lift, just celebrate and have fun and just, become very, very healthy. This was one of the things that actually really shocked me, and I wish more countries in the world would be able to do this. The Kigali Free Day. And it's not just in Kigali, in different towns they have the Car-Free Day. This country was very, very amazing to me. And guess what? The president of the country actually joined in that day, and I saw him from a distance, but it was so shocking that he was there walking also and trying to work out along with the other local people. This is definitely a country that is on the right track. The commotion you can see right now with people like trying to rush and walk is because the president is, the president is like right there somewhere. I can see him. Yeah, and that's why you can see like people are, look at them waving and clapping. because he's a great man and he's done big things for this country. So yeah, you can see people like running to embrace their leader. Guys, I met the president. Amazing. Kish my world. Oh, and by the way, did you know that in Rwanda they actually have free healthcare for every citizen? Yeah, if you're sick, you just go to any hospital, public hospital, and you get treated free of charge. Schools are also for free, and just a country that is doing so well if you compare to the other countries in Africa, especially in that region. Man, pretty impressive. So big up yourself, all my Rwanda people. Mozambique was another country I had the privilege to go visit and see. I got to see the home of the great African icon, the great leader, Samora Machel, one of the people that I think is the greatest and best leaders that we have in Africa. Guys, if you don't know who Samora Machel is, I suggest you go and read about him and you'll be so impressed. But apart from that also, I got to learn about this amazing story of a woman who killed a snake. I like when women are empowered, and even if it's theory or if it's in reality, there's a very interesting story here about this woman who managed to go and kill the snake, and she got even a statue rebuilt after her.
Yeah. Place no one was doing
it was empty.
A forest.
Okay.
And there was here a narrow way used by fishermen to go to the sea just to fishing.
Okay.
And when they was using the same way, the snake, they was living around here.
There were snakes here?
Yes.
Okay.
Big snake, it was big one.
Okay.
And it was killing a lot of people.
Like these ones here? Yeah.
It was killing a lot of people.
Yeah.
So the black people always, they was going to the Portuguese to complain about this situation, that we are killed by snake. Please help us. Maybe you can succeed to kill that snake.
Yeah.
So the Portuguese, you know, we are black. They were saying, forget about this black.
Yeah.
So, but later on, they pay attention in this situation to see, always these people are coming to complain what's happening. Let us go and see what's happening there.
Okay.
And when they came here, they saw a lot of bones. I'm talking about carcass of people.
Yeah, of people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they say, but it's true. Really, it's true. So they tried to look for that snake to kill using guns. They didn't even succeed, the Portuguese.
Oh, wow.
So that lady, she went to the Portuguese government to say that she was able to kill the snake.
Okay.
And the Portuguese, they say, how will you do because you are a lady? She said, I know.
Is she black or is she white?
She was a black lady.
She was a black lady?
They made it like a white lady.
Yeah, it looks like a white lady, yeah. Okay. So, but she was a black lady.
She was a black lady, of course. So, when the Portuguese, that lady, when she went to the Portuguese to say that she was able to kill the snake, the Portuguese, they said, we want to see it. And she cooked a hot porridge. Porridge made by maize. Yeah, hot porridge, but hot one. Yeah. We have a kind of pot, African pot made by sand.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a type of pot, but African one.
Yes, like
And she used the same kind of pot to bury the porridge. And she carried it in the head. Yeah. And she passed it from the same narrow way going to the sea. Like she's going to the sea. So the snake became prepared because the snake was already saw the lady that the lady she's coming. So to attack. Prepared just to attack. Yeah. And the lady when she passed down off the tree, the snake was up of the tree and she passed from down off the tree. And the snake, when it was going to bite the lady, introduced the head inside the hot porridge. And she threw it away. Yeah. And when the snake was trying just to overpower the situation, it became again with the hot porridge like
inside this. More and more.
Yeah. And okay. That's why. So the Portuguese, they did this statue in memory of the lady. But the lady, she was black lady. But here she coming like a white lady.
Wow, interesting. Yeah. So now that snake there symbolizes the snake that she killed.
Yes.
And this is the lady who looks very fierce.
Yes.
Okay. And now who are these here? The Portuguese or who are these people?
Portuguese, they say os combatentes europeus africanos da Grande Guerra. They say African and European of the big war. I'm talking about the First and the Second World War. Okay. Because we didn't even participate directly. Yes. But some of Africans, they have been in the First and the Second World War. Okay. But Africa, all of Africa, we didn't participate on the First World War.
No, we didn't. No.
Yeah. But some of Africans, they have been there.
They have been there.
Yes, it's about that.
Okay. This story might have been a fantasy, even though it's one of my favorite stories from Africa. But here is another story that was actually real. This time, it's in the small country of Botswana, and it's the story of El Negro. El Negro is definitely something that was really bad and really sad. It is a guy probably of is a Tswana, so probably from Botswana, South Africa, Namibia, not well known, who, when he died, his body was stolen from Africa and taken to France to be displayed in the museums. I'm about to tell a story of something that's been forgotten or neglected or never even really being paid attention. I searched the entire YouTube, even do it now. Go and type El Negro and then write El Negro Botswana, El Negro South Africa, El Negro France, or anything. The story of El Negro is a story that history is pretending to forget. It's about something that happened in the history that nobody's talking about. But guess what? Kish my world, I'm here for it. It's a story of, it's a sad story that we need to talk about, and I have to bring up the issue of El Negro and all the injustices that happened up to this day. Kish my world, let's do this. Alright guys, top of the morning, Kish my world. Today we are going to delve into a very disturbing story from Botswana, or is it from France, or is it from Spain? But it's a very disturbing story that has happened in history, and an opportunity that I got to go and visit one of this place, or this only place in Gaborone in Botswana, which was very kind of sad, kind of emotional. Today we will dive into the disturbing tale from history, the story of El Negro as they call it. El Negro basically means the black, or the black man basically, or the nigger. And this is a Tswana man. And remember I said Tswana because there's Tswanas in South Africa, there's Tswanas in Namibia, there's Tswanas in Botswana, you know. So it's the story of a Tswana man whose body was stolen from Africa to be displayed in Europe, specifically in France and in Spain, for over 100 years. This is one of those stories that you don't even really fathom how people could think like this. Of course, it had to start with the Europeans, and that's why our story today will definitely start from France, the Frenchmen. You know, it's one thing to keep a body of a human being mummified like the Egyptians did, or like the monks, for a long time, because they themselves, it's part of their culture. It was part of their cultures to honor their kings and their leaders, and they would used to mummify bodies and just keep them in these places where we can go and see them now in museums up to this day, you know. And it's another thing to stuff the dead body of an African warrior and display it like a trophy. I don't know if you know what I mean, along with other wild animals. Man, this is as recent as, what is it, 18 years ago, 19 years ago now? About 18 years ago, this was happening still. I'm gonna tell you how this all started. It started with two French crazy men, I can call them. You know, the French have always been crazy in history. So they were explorers, they were researchers, they were scientists, so to speak, who used to go and tour the world and just, you know, look for exotic animals and exotic creatures so that they can, you know, dry them or mummify them. Not even mummify them, they just dry them up, then they take them back to France, to Paris to be more specific, and display them for the elite Europeans to go and see. But now these two crazy madmen, if I can remember their names, I'll tell you. I'm gonna put it down here below. They decided, you know, they were in Southern Africa, not known exactly where in Southern Africa, probably Botswana, probably South Africa or Namibia. And one man who is unknown up to this day, he's just known as El Negro because that's what they classified him. He died because of reasons unknown, probably natural causes. A recent autopsy showed that maybe he had pneumonia, but death is natural, so the guy died, the African guy, he died. Then these two Frenchmen came the night of the burial. They came and removed his body, stole his body, and ran away with it. Why? Because they had to take it back amongst other animals to show it as a creature, you know, to be displayed in the museums in France. So they just put a wire as a spine, and then they used like some cardboards and newspapers to seal the casket, and then they took his body, shipped it to France. Imagine. Then when they got to France, they skinned the body, removed all the organs, you know, took them away. His bones and everything were used as a display of what the black man is. The skin itself, they stuffed stuff in it so that it looks like the figure of a black man, and they painted it with shoe polish to make it appear even darker, so that when people would come and see and watch him from the, when they come to see the things happening in France, they would come and just enjoy this beautiful thing. They called him the African Bushman. They never gave him a name, an identity. They just took a black man and decided to go and bury him. This thing went on for a while, everything that happened, but it was basically in the early 19th century. Yes, because it was so fashionable by then for Europeans to collect wild animals from around the world. But guess what? They classified us also as the animals, so people would see how it is. So the fame of this guy came, in the 1970s, not came, but continued lasting for about 170 years. So this guy, he never rested in peace because he was taken from Africa, and his body was being used as a display for 170 years in Paris, France. And people would come and take photos with him. They would create even postcards and like, oh, I wish I'm sending you greetings from Paris in France, from the El Negro, stuff like that. And he was displayed for like that for a very, very long time, almost 170 years, until this guy got a particular interest in it, a Spanish guy, and decided to buy the guy and took him to Spain, in Barcelona. And in Barcelona, there's like the Catalonia region there. So he again took the El Negro, his body, his skin. There's a word they had for it, toxicate, where you like remove all the organs and make him dry, so that he's continued to be on display. So people would come and just view him in a museum. But then there was one Spanish guy of Haitian origin, power to the people of Haiti, who was like, what, this does not sit right to me. It doesn't sit right with me. Why would a black man be put on display for white men to come and see? He was a Spaniard. Then he was like, he brought an uproar and he started making noise. And he was like, no, this should not be. It's indignifying for black people. It's racist. It doesn't build on any culture. But of course, the Spaniards, the white people, they were against that. Wait, I just need to tilt to the sun because I'm trying to catch my sunset, So the Spaniards, they were not having any of that. And the people of Catalonia in Barcelona in Spain, they were claiming El Negro, as they called him, as part of their thing, that he deserves to be there, he deserves to remain in the museum. But the guy was like, no, this is impossible. But the pressure was not enough, but at least he made a voice known. And finally, it got worldwide attention and spread to the Americas, where Magic Johnson, if you guys know Magic Johnson, very, very popular guy, he was like, what, I also agree, this is not going to happen. There was also a very popular basketballer who was called, what was his name? It was Magic Johnson, yeah, but the other guy was also another Johnson. I'll remember the name because I'm a bit rough in my history right now. He was also like, what, it's not going to happen. And the pressure amassed until the African Union chairman at that point, also called Kofi Annan, he also exerted more pressure and was like, what, this will not happen. You cannot steal a man from Africa, take him away from his homeland, display him in museums for over 180 years. And then it was just too much and the pressure had to be released. And guess what, guys? This was not long time ago. Remember, he was stolen from Africa in the 1800s, but as late as 1997, El Negro was still in museums in Spain. It was crazy. So the pressure was too much. The Spaniards were fighting against this. They were like, we have to keep him here. He was made very much shorter than we average are, painted in black, makes you as an African be depicted in the most negative ways ever possible. So the pressure was too much until the museum decided, what, we're gonna take him down, and they put him in a closed cell somewhere, you know. But the museum was still open and he was still there. But it's not until Barcelona was chosen to host the Olympics in 1990 that they decided, you know what, this is gonna be an embarrassment for us. The whole world's eyes is on us. There'll be black athletes who will be competing in the Olympics. So that is when they decided, you know what, let's take this guy back to Africa where he belongs. And the Botswanan government was very graceful enough to take him back home and give him a befitting burial. So El Negro was actually given a place to lay and rest and just be buried in his own home country. The only problem is it is not known whether he died in modern day Botswana, modern day South Africa, or modern day Namibia, you know. But Africa is Africa and he's home and he's happy. And he was actually given a very nice and proper burial. There's a museum there. You can go and you read about that. I was there. I enjoyed my time there. I enjoyed, you know, just listening to or reading about the history. You pay 20 pula to get in, just to make sure that the park is being conserved and it's just okay. Because before, when the burial happened, you know, it was not really done well because it was just an open place, so it was not really well maintained. Kids sometimes would come and just play football there. But now they decided, you know what, we need to preserve this guy as our hero, because it's not the first time that this has happened for Africans. We also know the story of the South African lady who was taken in real life to be displayed in England and in France again as a real life, you know, projection of what the black South African woman was supposed to look like, especially because of her physical features. So as black people, we really have been through a lot, and I felt like it's good for me also to tell the story of El Negro, our hero, our African hero, who went, you know, he was stolen, man, and he was stolen in the middle of the night. Didn't get a befitting send-off. He didn't even get to rest after suffering in this world. Taken again to France, being displayed there for 170 years, being taken to Spain, all these things, all this humiliation, until now he is in this place, which I'm going to show you. I went in briefly, I paid my respects to him, and I hope you guys have learned something from the story of El Negro. I wish we could give him a different name, but so far we'll call him that because it just means the black or the black man. So that has been the small history of El Negro. Of course, guys, Africa cannot be complete without visiting the north of Africa. Yes, in the same trip I got a chance to go to Egypt. Egypt is one of these countries that you really need to go to in your life. I had to go and see the pyramids of Giza, which is have amazing history. You know, it's a world wonder, but the stories behind all the pyramids there is crazy, mind-blowing, of how they built it, how they transported the rocks and everything. You definitely need to go and check that out. But my story is not about that, because that one is out there. My story is about a local guy who I met there on the street, an Egyptian guy. He saw me, he liked me, he invited me over into his house, and I really thought it was a really good thing, and I was very appreciative of him, even though I should have been smarter than that. So I followed the guy into the house. He gave me food, he fed me, then he asked me for some small money to buy some alcohol. I gave him the money, not a problem. We started eating and talking and just having a good time, until I sensed trouble when he told me to switch off the camera. This is what he had to say in that moment. Oh, nice. So here you sit down and enjoy.
Yeah, sit down.
It's good. Yeah.
Sit. You eating, you drinking, you finish, you close the tongue.
Yeah, okay.
Close the cup.
It's closed, yeah.
You drinking beer.
Yeah.
You eating chicken, nasi. You want, after you finish, you give me 5,000 pounds.
5,000 pounds? My friend,
look, $100.
I don't have that money.
Buy Visa, cash machine, dollar, any club to the month.
You see, I want to come only and be your friend, not about money. Yeah, it's not good you ask money.
I'm not money for.
Yeah.
Don't look from the money. I look my happy. Don't bullshit.
Yeah, but 5,000.
That's nothing. About $100.
I don't have $100.
You have.
Oh.
You have my garden. Thank you.
Yeah, you see.
I cover my garden.
Before.
I cover my garden. I know.
Mm.
You understand?
Yeah.
I cover my garden.
You cover your garden.
I cover my garden. You look me Egyptian. Any people, tourists who come from in my house, this last price $2,000. I like the face more Egyptian. You have a friend.
Your friend.
And my wife will come from Samir, my house.
You know, you're supposed to be my good friend. You welcome me. You give me the food.
No problem.
But yeah. Anyway, I'll buy for you beer. Okay, 120 you said, and then I'll give you 200 Egyptian, and then now I go back to the city. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because I thought you bring me here because of the kindness of your heart, but it's unfortunate. Man, after him denying this outrageous sum of money, it really dampened my spirits and my thoughts about how the people of Egypt are. I thought they were really friendly people because of the first impressions from him, and it really made me think very differently about them. But actually, I didn't give up on the people. I went to Cairo and I met now even more beautiful people, man. And I can tell you this for sure, Egypt is not all about scams, not all about this and this and this and that. It might have ruined my perception of Egyptians initially, but later on I came to meet all these beautiful people, especially the people of the dump. Guys, the people of the dump, who are they? I just was wondering again as I do, and I ended up in some place where there was like very slums and very much rubbish everywhere in the streets. And I was walking, I heard some music from a distance, so I went towards the music and I found some guys dancing and singing and celebrating and just being so happy and enjoying life. They're the Christians actually of Egypt. Yeah, they do exist Christian people in Egypt, very religious people. But I was a bit afraid when I went there because they were dancing with swords and knives and weapons, and I was like, hey, what is happening here? But when they saw me, they saw I'm different, they just welcomed me, they danced with me, they showed me around, they gave me drinks, they took care of me. I had such a lovely time, and this totally made a 360 of how I thought the Egyptian people were, because they took the absolute best care of me. And man, look at all this love here. I strongly suggest visit Africa. If you've never been to Africa, come and see Africa. If you're from Africa also, go and visit other countries. Your mind will open up. You'll see people that are so unique, so beautiful, so different from you, yet similar. And man, Africa is definitely the place to be. So make sure you go and visit Africa if you have never been there, if you want to go. And if you're from there, if you're from the north, go to the south. If you're from the south, go to the west, east. Let's all go and see each other's cultures, and you will learn a lot like I did. The last 6 months definitely blew my mind away, guys. That is it. So hope you guys enjoyed this small experience about my stories from Africa. Man, I had so much stories, but they cannot fit all in one video. Maybe I'll do a part 2 of this one. If you want me to do a part 2 of this one, comment down below, let me know. Just say part 2 Kish. Let's see how it goes. I have 1,001 stories from Africa. Some of them are more crazy, some of them are sad, some of them are happy stories, but whichever you want, guys, I'll be sure to give you if you want it. Comment down below. Remember also guys to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and share this video to your friends so that we can keep going and growing. And I hope you guys have enjoyed this one. So Toppa the morning, Kish my world. See you guys in the next one. That is it.